Today I'm going to be giving my first attempt at making liquid soap by the hot process. I'm using equal parts olive oil and coconut oil with potassium hydroxide as the base. I'm also using a crockpot liner to make my cleanup a little bit easier. Olive oil has a lye saponification value of 0.19, which means for every gram of olive oil I use, I need to use 190 milligrams of lye. And for coconut oil, the value is 0.258. So altogether, if I use 400 grams of olive oil and 400 grams of coconut oil, I will need to use 179.2 grams of potassium hydroxide to make the soap. Potassium hydroxide has a solubility of about 1,210 grams per liter, so I've got about 200 milliliters of water here, and I'm going to try and dissolve 182 grams of potassium hydroxide. For safety reasons, I decided to move the solution into a larger glass mixing cup and to go outside into a better ventilated area, because this reaction is quite exothermic and I don't want to inhale any fumes. Just add it slowly, a little bit at a time. Stir it up. And I'll try and get the rest of this dissolved. Now that we've got our potassium hydroxide solution ready, I'm going to pour it in, and the reactions should start very quickly. You can already see it yellowing. Let's get the stir going. After a couple minutes of stirring, it's time to move on to the hand blender. So I've been stirring it for about 10 minutes, and for some reason the trace is still really thin on it. So I'm just going to put the lid on and check back on it in about 20 minutes, see if it's the same. If so, we'll figure out what to do then. Yeah, that's looking much better now, much thicker. I think this process is on its way. It's now a pretty thick paste, but I think it still needs a lot more time. The soap is done cooking, so it's time to transfer it into the bucket. I'm now going to add 2 liters of water to the soap to try to dissolve it all. Alright, it's the morning now, so we're going to open this up and see how it looks. Probably have to do a little bit of stirring. Let's see. Still a little bit left in there. It hasn't dissolved. Most of it has. So it's been a couple days. I think it's all dissolved in here. I never ended up adding any more water, but it feels like it's all dissolved. Still pretty liquidy, but that is finished dish soap. Let's see how it works. It's pretty liquidy, but it's foaming up nicely. It has a lot of foam. That's the coconut oil. I wanted to make sure it would foam up enough, and it definitely did the trick. There we go. It works.